Fish buns are a popular snack in Sri Lanka, but it's always made with white flour. This time I got several requests to make fish buns with wholemeal flour. So I thought of doing that recipe for those who requested. And when we use wholemeal flour, we need to add a little bit of white flour. If not, the texture will be hard. So I tried hard to use as much wholemeal flour that I can use, and I have bread flour too. So for the recipe I'm using 400 grams of wholemeal flour with 200 grams of bread flour, 65 grams butter, 8 grams salt, and half a teaspoon of bread improver, 8 grams yeast, and 1 tablespoon full caster sugar, and 375 milliliters of warm water. The reason why I use a little bit of bread improver, because the wholemeal flour is a bit hard to prove. So if you add a little bit of bread improver, it will prove nicely. And the salt plays a major role in baking too, so add 8 grams of salt in this recipe. So to start this recipe, first I'm going to do the dough, and I'll tell you what are the ingredients for the filling. So add the bread flour into a mixing bowl and the wholemeal flour, and then bread improver, yeast, and start mixing it, adding sugar, while mixing add the salt, and then water little by little until it makes a smooth dough, and keep on mixing this about 8 minutes. Once you have knit that dough about 8 minutes, add the butter and keep on mixing another 20 minutes. So I knit this dough about 20 minutes now. I'm going to put that in a greased bowl and leave it in a warm place until it doubles in size. I left the dough to rise. Meanwhile, I'm going to do the filling. For the filling, there is no strict rules for the filling. You can always add whatever you like to add into this mix, but I'm giving you a rough idea about the filling. Normally we use onion, chilies, potatoes and fish mainly in this filling, but I'm going to use 1 large onion, some mashed potatoes. I'm not using a lot of potatoes in this one. Then there is no value adding wholemeal flour because it gives more starch when you add potatoes. So I'm using only 1 large potato mashed, and green part of the leek, and 2 cans of mackerel. You can use tuna or even fresh fish for this recipe. So I'm going to saute onions and leeks, and going to add the fish into that, salt and pepper, and the potatoes, going to mix that. But if you like to add any kind of a herb or the spice, you can always add anything into this filling. So I'm going to do the filling and leave it to cool down while I'm proving the dough. So I finished cooking the mix and it's ready, and my dough is double in size too. So I'm going to flour the bench dough and put the dough onto the bench. And this is a really nice dough, and flour your hand and then press it down and cut that into equal size portions. So the dough is ready. Make balls out from that and leave that on the bench about 10 minutes before working on that. So cover it with a damp cloth and leave 10 minutes. So I left the dough about 10 minutes. Now I'm going to separate that again and take one out, press it like this, and use a rolling pin. Roll it to a circle but leave the middle a bit thick like this. even without a rolling pin, you can just press it down like this. So take a spoonful of the mix and put it in the middle. The more the mix, it tastes nicer. So take one end and put that into the middle, and take the other end, put that into the middle, and press the edges down. So after it becomes like a triangle, so take the other end and cover the rest, but don't over cover it, so you will find a bit thick dough here. So just press and seal the edges nicely. Make sure that you seal the edges properly and there is no liquid in your mix too. So press it down, put it upside down, use your hands to shape it to a nice rectangle, and then take a baking tray and put them to rise again about 40 to 50 minutes, or it depends on the temperature that in the room. So if you are in living in a cooler climate, what you can do is preheat the oven to 30 and switch off it and put the dough in the oven to rise. But today I'm doing this in the morning, and I want to bake this in the evening for dinner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this straightly in the fridge without proving, and after I come back from work, I'm going to put this in a warm place to prove again. So the fish buns are ready to go to the oven. Going to brush the tops with eggs and bake this on 180 about 20 to 30 minutes. The wholemeal flour buns are ready. I baked this about 20 minutes and it's really hot, very soft and moist, and I can't want to show you how it looks like. Hope you will enjoy this. Thank you for watching.